It's Monday and it's time for Motivational Minutes. As plural because we're going to be here today for more than 1 minute. You already knew it. So in today's video, I want to talk about the unknown. There's a lot of times in our life where we may feel a pull in certain directions and we're not sure what decision to make. There are going to be times in our life where we hear from God about something great or amazing or challenging that He wants us to do, but we're not quite sure if we want to, or we're not quite sure what's going to come against us along the way. If something will come against us, will we have people that support us in that? There are a lot of uncertainties many times in life, but one thing we should always be certain of is that no matter what, God is with us and He is for us. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So during today's video, it was a little struggle for me, to be honest, because I didn't feel like making a video today. I was just really tired this morning. But I remembered something that I saw recently that my bestie wrote online, and she was talking about, and she's talked about it more than once, but the importance of commitment over motivation. A lot of times motivation, it can fail you. It's just, motivation is kind of like happiness. How happiness happens when things happen. You know, a lot of times certain events or certain people or certain foods or certain movies or things, and they can make us happy. We feel happy around these people. We feel happy going shopping. We feel happy eating chocolate. We feel happy watching our favorite show. We feel happy when someone does something great for us. That's happiness. So happiness, though, it can come and go. And motivation, it also can come and go. Because there's sometimes, I'm telling you, like, if you ever go to church, there can be sometimes you hear a sermon like, woohoo, yes, Lord, I'm sold out for Christ. And then you go home and life hits you and you done forgot every word that the pastor done said. And so motivation, it can come and go. And even these videos, for myself, I always tell you guys that I do these videos, not just for you, but for me. It's like, it's therapeutic for me to be able to talk things out and talk about God because I love to do that. But sometimes the motivation that I give to you all, I have to remind myself, girl, didn't you just tell people about being patient? Or didn't you just tell people to have faith? You got to listen to what you can say, practice what you preach. So motivation, sometimes it can come and it's wonderful, it's great. And then sometimes you're going to lack motivation. And what you need is commitment to carry you through. So I'm doing today's video not because I was motivated to come on screen, but because I made a commitment to myself that I wanted to be consistent in making these videos because, like I said, I make them for me and I make them for you all. And I'm so glad that you guys have been enjoying them. I've been enjoying making them. That's just a little something that I thought about today, that she said, commitment and motivation. Like, sometimes commitment is going to take you a lot further than motivation ever will. So if you're on a weight loss journey, and that's what she was talking about, being on a weight loss journey, being committed to it will take you a lot further than waiting to be motivated to get up and move and to choose the leafy greens over the cookies. So you're going to need to be committed more so than waiting to be motivated. And I think that goes hand in hand with what we're talking about today, about the unknown. Because when God gives you an instruction or an idea, or someone to pray for, or something to do, we sometimes, and by we, it includes me, yes, we like to wait until we feel fully motivated to move. Not everybody and not all the time, but there are times where you really feel as though you heard from God, but you're quite unsure how to carry out the plan for what He's instructed you to do. You're quite unsure about the people. You're quite unsure about the resources. You're quite unsure about how you feel about it. There's been times where God has called me to say something to someone or do something for someone, and I wasn't feeling that person. But my commitment to Christ, my commitment to please God, my commitment to do His will, my commitment to be obedient to God's words and instructions is what carried me more so than waiting till I felt like it, till I was motivated to move and do so. So when it comes to getting an instruction or hearing from God for something, and let me just pause right here because I know and I know for myself, a lot of times I watch videos and people talk about hearing from God, and I'm thinking they're saying God, came down, was like, hey, do this. Hey, move here. Hey, go forth. And honestly, that can really happen for someone. Some people have heard the audible voice of God, and some people, God speaks to them that way. Maybe not so that voice, but it's very clear as to what God says. But some of us, God may come to you in your dreams. Like, I'm a person who dreams. God comes to me in my dreams. I'm a person who prays. God comes to me through prayer. And so God will communicate with you in a way of which he knows that you'll adhere to and you can handle. So if you feel like, man, if I heard a voice, I will freak out. Don't expect that. Because God is gentle and he knows you. That's what's so cool about God. He knows your comfort level. And so he knows how to come at you. He will bring a word to you in a way that you can comprehend it, understand, and receive it. So when I say when you hear from God, sometimes it may be that thing that's like pressing on your heart, or that thing that's weighing on your mind, that thing that won't leave you alone, that you keep feeling a pull in that direction. You keep feeling, hearing and feeling God say to you to go this direction in your career, or to do something in your household, or to have a hard conversation with someone. You keep feeling that need to do so. That's God. He's tugging on your heart. He's very gentle, but it's just a light tug. But being in the unknown, man, that is hard. Because, like, for example, there's been many people in the Bible who God will say, pick up your stuff and go. He didn't say where, what direction. Sometimes he'll say, take your family and go to this town. He might tell somebody, hey, a dude gonna come to your house later. Hey, I'm sending somebody your way. I want you to feed him. Like, literally, it's short, direct directions. And there's a lot of unknown with that. And that can be scary. That can be frustrating. That can be hard. Because as humans, we want to know it all. Before I sign up for something, I need to know what's going to happen at point A to point B and all in between. But sometimes God just gives us the first step, that first thing, that first opportunity for us to choose him and to choose to be obedient. And then he will give you more along the way. In church the other day, we talked about how God sometimes he'll just give you pieces to the puzzle and not the whole puzzle at once, because God really does give you what you can handle at the time. Because if God told you everything that was going to happen, exactly how it was going to happen, what need would you have to have faith? What type of faith building would that be if every time you wanted something, or every time you wanted to do something, God just said, yep, you're going to have this on this day and you're going to get it exactly like that? Now, there are times where God can give you clear direction, where it is I need you to go down the street, talk to this woman, tell her this, and then do that. Of course, God gives those types of directions, but there are times where he gives you that first step, and there's opportunity for us to access, use, and strengthen our faith. Not just our faith in ourselves that we can do it. No. Faith in God. Faith that the God in us is strong enough to handle it. The faith that if God called me to it, I know he'll see me through it. That type of faith. That type of faith that knows that, I was watching a sermon like a few nights ago, and the lady said, faith is not just us, trusting and believing in God, but understanding that when something happens, it's God saying, I trust you. I believe in you. So understand that when God gives you something that you feel is hard, that's taxing, that's challenging, that you don't feel qualified for, but if he has called you to do something, he will give you the grace for it. He will provide the resources for it. He will put people in place to help you reach what it is he's trying to get you to do. And sometimes it could be something small. Sometimes it could be something big. But no matter what it is, if it's something you know for a fact has come from the throne, has come from God, know that there is purpose and reason behind it. And the God, like I said, he is with you and he is for you. So I just wanted to encourage you guys that if you are like me in a season where there's a lot of unknown, a lot of things that you may feel uncertain about, a lot of things that you're like the guy in the Bible who said, Lord, I believe, but help my unbelief. If you feel like you're in that boat, if you feel like you're at that place this week, I want you to be encouraged to know that if God has called you to do something, you got it. You got it in the bag. And that if there is something you're not sure about, first know that you can always ask God for clarity. You can always come to him and say, Lord, I feel like it's you who wants me to do this, but I'm not sure. Can you help me to know? He gonna let you know. If there's a decision you're trying to make this week and you're not sure which direction to go, seek God, because if you seek him, I promise you will find him. And understand that God can be found in many ways. So don't think that, Lord, should I make this phone call? Lord, should I make this business deal? And he's gonna be like, yes, no. Sometimes it's not just like I'm saying, an audible yes, no. It may be like you feel it. People talk about intuition and gut feelings. No, that's Holy Spirit. You saved? That's Holy Spirit. He's gonna be that one that's like, you should go left. You should go right. You need to stop those conversations. You shouldn't do that. He's that one that's like there coaching us, trying to help us to walk that straight and narrow path. But yeah, this week I just want you guys and myself to be encouraged about the unknown that we may be facing in this season, and understand that there is always a reason. There is always a reason. And that the moments of uncertainty and being in the unknown, it's not going to last long when you get to where God is trying to get you to. It may seem like it's so hard and difficult now, but I assure you, I have too many stories about times where God just said, move to Florida, bam, did it. God said, move to North Carolina, bam, did it. And it wasn't like I didn't have a plan or a big thing. It was simply us as my husband and I knowing, okay, this is what God has called us to do. God told us to do this, and we did it. And along the way, he kept putting those pieces together, and we started to see more and more the picture that God was trying to put before us, and we got to see things come together. And at the end, we were able to give God glory to say, God did that. He's the one that allowed us to do X, Y, and Z. But yeah, I just want you guys to be encouraged that if you are in a season of feeling like you just don't know, it's okay. It's okay if you feel lost, because it's when you feel lost that you desire more and more to seek and find God. And I hope this week that that's exactly what you do. In your season of feeling like you're uncertain and you're in the unknown and you're feeling lost, seek God and know that he's a God that can be found. And he's going to be right there waiting for you. Say, hey, what's up? It's been a minute. I miss you. Tell me how you doing. All right. Bye, guys. I'll see you in the next video.